A meteorologist doing a news segment stopped mid-broadcast, looked directly at me in the crowd, and pointed. I was grabbing coffee downtown when I saw the news crew setting up. Channel 7, doing one of those live weather segments where the meteorologist stands on the street pretending the wind is worse than it actually is. I had 10 minutes before my meeting, so I stopped to watch like everyone else does when there's a camera around. The meteorologist was this guy named Dan Weathers. Yes, that was actually his name. He'd been doing the morning forecast for 15 years, and everyone in the city knew him. He was mid-40s, always wore a blue tie, and had this signature move where he'd point at the sky right before commercial break. He was talking about the cold front moving in, gesturing at his green screen like usual, when suddenly he went completely still. His hand froze mid-air. His smile dropped. Then he looked directly at me and pointed. Not past me, not near me, at me. You, he said into the camera. Blue jacket. Don't move. I looked down. I was wearing a blue jacket. I looked around. So were 3 other people in the crowd, but Dan was staring right at me, and his face had gone white. The camera operator turned the lens toward the crowd. I could see myself on the monitor they had set up. Dan stepped away from his mark and walked straight toward me, still on air, microphone in hand. Sir, I need you to listen very carefully, he said. His voice was shaking. Do you have your phone on you? I pulled it out slowly. Yeah? Check your messages. Right now. Everyone was staring. The producer was yelling something in Dan's earpiece, but he ripped it out and threw it on the ground. I opened my phone. There was one new text from an unknown number, sent 30 seconds ago. If the man in the blue jacket moves from that spot in the next 5 minutes, the building behind him explodes. My blood went cold. I looked up at Dan. He saw my face change and nodded. You see it? He said quietly. How did you know? I whispered. He held up his phone. Same message. Sent to him 2 minutes ago. Tell the man in the blue jacket to stay exactly where he is. You have 5 minutes. If he moves, if you warn anyone, if you call police, the building explodes. Prove you can follow instructions. This is only the beginning. Dan stepped closer. The crowd was confused now. The camera was still rolling. The producer was screaming into a phone. What building? I asked. Dan's eyes flicked up. I turned slowly and looked behind me. The office tower. 32 floors. Probably 500 people inside on a Tuesday morning. This is insane, I said. We need to evacuate. The message said no police, no warnings. So we just stand here for 5 minutes. Then we figure out what's next. My legs felt like they were going to give out, but I didn't move. Dan stayed next to me, and the crowd started to realize something was very wrong. People were pulling out their phones. Some were backing away. Others were getting closer, trying to figure out what was happening. The producer finally ran over. Dan, what the hell are you doing? We're live. Keep the camera rolling, Dan said. Don't cut away. She looked at him like he'd lost his mind, but she didn't stop the broadcast. 3 minutes passed, then 4. I was sweating through my jacket even though it was 30 degrees outside. At 4 minutes and 30 seconds, Dan's phone buzzed. He looked down and his face changed again. What? I asked. He showed me the screen. Good. You followed instructions. Now walk away. Both of you. You have 30 seconds. We need to run, Dan said. What about the building? Move. Now. He grabbed my arm and pulled me backwards. We were 10 feet away when his phone buzzed again. There was never a bomb, but there will be next time. And next time, you won't know where, or when, or who, but you'll remember this feeling. You'll remember that I can reach you anywhere, even live on camera, even surrounded by people. You're never safe. None of you are. By the way, check the blue jacket's left pocket. I reached into my pocket with shaking hands and pulled out a small black device. It looked like a flash drive, but heavier. There was a tiny red light blinking on the side. What is that? Dan asked. I have no idea. I've never seen this before in my life. We both stared at it. The camera was still rolling. The producer was yelling. The crowd was backing away fast now. Someone was calling 911. Dan looked at me. How did they get that in your pocket? I don't know. I've been standing here the whole time. So someone planted it before you stopped. Before I even went live. That's when it hit me. Whoever did this knew I'd be here. Knew I'd stop to watch. Knew exactly where I'd be standing when Dan started his broadcast. They'd been watching me for a while. The bomb squad arrived 20 minutes later. Turned out the device in my pocket wasn't a bomb either. It was a recorder. It had been recording everything I'd said and done for the past 6 hours. They never found who sent the messages. I quit my job that week and moved 3 states away. Dan quit live television and now does pre-recorded segments from inside the studio. Neither of us ever found out why we were chosen, but sometimes I still get text messages from unknown numbers that just say, I'm still watching.